Hey guys, Neomis here. So for today's video, we're going to be going through Ryan Fraser's reactions towards being linked to Arsenal, as well as some of the other players that we've been linked as part of Unai Emery's shortlist. One being Leandro Trossard, as well as Cristian Pavon. And then there are also talks about Arsenal going into some of the Juventus players who are looking to leave the club at the end of the season, as well as the future for Calum Chambers. So stay tuned. So this morning, just looking through just some of the articles on the Express that I've got right here on my phone, I was looking at some of the comments that Ryan Fraser made in regards to being linked to Arsenal. You know, I mean, stating the obvious, referring to us as a big club, referring to us is that, you know, he's been happy with the hard work that he's done for him to be linked to a club such as Arsenal, which is understandable. And obviously he knows that he's doing a lot of hard work. But, you know, what I was really surprised is that it was said in the Express that he is actually one of Unai Emery's top targets, which, you know, is really good for the fact that, like I said in yesterday's video, that, you know, for Arsenal being linked to a British player, someone Scotland international, which I can't remember the last time that we actually signed a Scottish player, which I think is really good. I think it'd be really good for the future. Some of the young players also provide he might be a potential leader on the pitch as well, and he's got Premier League experience, and that's something that you cannot, you know, disregard. But some of the other names that was kind of brought up was the likes of Leandro Trossard, who currently plays for Genk in the Belgium League. Just to kind of pull up some of the stats here, he's 24 years old, so, you know, he's still relatively young, but young enough where we could probably get him for a decent price. Valued at currently 13 million, which is very cheap compared to the fact that this guy he's played 39 games so far, scored 19 goals and 8 assists. That's pretty good. And Genk are a good side. Normally, I would say they play every now and again they're challenging within the Europa League as well as in the Champions League. He plays mainly as a left winger and sometimes as an attacking midfield player. But it just really shows, you know, the type of talent that we could potentially get. Seems to be pretty good, and if he could replicate that same form at Genk at Arsenal, it could be an actual steal of a deal. The other is Cristian Pavon, 18 million. He's valued at currently 23 years old, plays for Boca Juniors, big club in South America. But one thing I have seen from his stats now, and we have been rumored from before, is that he doesn't score a lot of goals, 4 goals and 3 assists. For me, that's not quite good enough. I think that looking at what other players have done here right now on loan, as well as, you know, currently at the club, like Alex Iwobi, I don't think that those numbers really give me confidence in terms of what he could potentially do. He is valued at 18 million, which is more than Trossard, which is really surprising. I'm not too familiar with Boca Juniors and the Argentinian club and how good that they are in their domestic league, but I would think that, you know, the Belgian league is, you know, more competitive than their league. So I'm really surprised that he hasn't scored more goals. He can also play on both wings, both right and left. So really adaptable player. And, you know, very, very quick from what I've seen from other YouTube videos on what he can do in terms of his skills. But two actually really class players. Cristian Pavon for me is definitely more of the risk. Ryan Fraser is probably more of the obvious choice. Would be, I think, more than the other two. Probably somewhere between 20-25 mil, which I think would actually be a pretty decent price. And if we can get him for about 20, would be absolutely fantastic. I've been absolutely drumming up on my Twitter page about if we get this guy for 20 million, he could be a steal of a deal. So I'm really looking forward to that. The other news, Calum Chambers, was reported in the Sun this morning, and I know it's the Sun, which is why I'm kind of leaving this a bit lost and taking it with a grain of salt. He's been rumoured to have a bit of a future at Arsenal by the time that he comes back from loan or from Fulham at the end of the season. It's something that I've thought about before, but hadn't really heard anything about it, and said that Fulham have looking at him as the new kind of Sergio Busquets, which, I mean, if you're an Arsenal fan, you've seen Calum Chambers. I think he's talented. I think he's good. But Sergio Busquets, like, really? If he was that type of player, then we should have seen it by now. I refuse to believe that Arsenal just haven't seen that kind of potential in a player before. So, yeah, we'll see. But I don't see where that's going. And then finally, with Juventus. So let me just kind of pull this up right here. So the rumor is that Juventus are looking to really trim down on their squads. They want to buy another superstar. This was again in the Sun. And they're looking to get rid of about 11 players, including the likes of Dybala and Panjic, however you pronounce his name, as well as Douglas Costa, which I'm only reporting in it because it's Arsenal are associated with it, but I think it's absolute bullshit. But yeah, it's unlikely. They haven't even said who this other superstar might be. A lot of those players that are on that list are superstars as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, if you want to check out more on it, visit the Sun's website and see what they say. But just from my opinion, I just think it's just absolute nonsense. So let's see what happens. Again, the Ryan Fraser rumor is great. Sounds to me like he's excited, and yeah, let's see what else is going on. But thank you guys once again for watching this video. Please comment, like, subscribe, but definitely leave your comments below. Would actually love to start to get a discussion going and see what you guys think of this. So, but I'll see you guys next time.